Welcome back to Sunless Skies. Thank you for joining us today. As I get you caught up on what's been going on, we're involved in a bit of a hootenanny, a bit of a brouhaha, if you will. So, we have just learned something interesting, which is that they're the suns, the basic kings of this celestial realm, all these celestial realms, are at war with each other. And it's kind of a genteel war. There are rules dictating the laws of engagement under which they may kill each other. And we're finding out more about what exactly those rules are. They're called the courtesy. We know that the courtesy exists, but we don't know exactly what it entails. So we're making our way. Very nice. We're making our way towards the House of Rods and Chains, from which we can view the Halved, which is Eleutheria used to be ruled over by basically a binary system, 2 stars, and one of them died, was killed, and the other one, the one that remains, is called the Halved. And we think that the Halved might know something about the... what's it called? Not the correspondence. The courtesy. So we're going there to ask it about it. Ask it about it. Getting all sorts of stuff along the way. Get juked, idiot! Fucking noob! Holy moly, that set my skin on fire. Don't shoot at me for 2 seconds and I'll just blow you up. Where are you aiming, dude? I'm over here. Okay, you're dead now. Unworthy. Fucking jump scared me. So anyway, yeah, we're trying to figure out more about why the stars are killing each other and how. Specifically how. It's some kind of like poison. Or some kind of mechanism that we haven't figured out yet. I don't know. In terms of gathering resources, Eleutheria is pretty good. Like, certain parts of the Reach are nice, but just because of the fact that this is a higher level area, and you're more likely to run into, like, senior scribe spinsters, and things like that. What are they called? Wardens? No. The Hoarders? No. The big bat things. They just give you better rewards. And I really like those Grievers, those little dudes that come in packs, because they're really easy to kill, and they give you very, like, manageable, like, small but manageable rewards, and they're varied, too. So, like, they can give you visions of the heavens. If you have enough visions of the heavens, you can convert those into moments of inspiration, and oftentimes they'll let you repair your hull. So, it's just a great kind of, like, top me off kind of thing. Alright, so we're gonna go in here and do all the, daily stuff kind of thing. Pick up a rubbery man. It's always good to have a rubbery man on board. Compile a port report. Trade for curiosities. Get some thirsty bombazine. Very nice. Alright. That's good. And now, time to go to the Spire of Inches and Mr. Barleycorn's study. And from here, I can give you, hold on, I can give you the seal of Mr. Pipes, another one of its kind. Perhaps it's true that we live too long. I suppose there are less pleasurable paths to follow, though the emptiness awaiting at the end of that one's will be dark indeed. Why? I favor music myself. A symphony is as potent to me as good wine is to you. Your kind have been bounteous in that regard. Okay. Alright. Consult the Midnight Sun about the courtesy. You know it's an agreement between the suns governing their feuds. But what else? What was it that no one else would tell you? The black sun revolves until its spasming eye fills the spire's window. The distance between you and it distorts, shortening until the eye fills the sky and you can feel the sun's pull tugging at your weight. Mr. Barleycorn hurries forward, carrying a metal bowl. It's filled with what looks like oil. Drink and listen. You do so. The masked citizen follows suit. Wait, it does not take long. Your mouth begins to itch, then you feel a stab of pain. You lift a hand to it, and feel the corner of your lip slowly split open, parting the flesh of your cheek. Ugh. The citizen cries out. You see their own mouth widen until it stretches from one side of their face to the other, then splits into two. A second mouth crawls over their cheekbone to settle on their forehead. Your face writhes, and you hear a gasp as your new second mouth takes its first breath. Ask, instructs Mr. Barleycorn. That's interesting. I feel like it's kind of a corollary to the third eye idea. Like the eye that's used for paranormal, spiritual, higher plane purposes. Same thing here, right? Except instead of observing, we're asking a question. The mouth has ensconced itself on your forehead. You touch it, feeling familiar lips, gums, teeth, a tongue. When it speaks, though, it's not in your voice, but one of wind and fire. Ask it what the courtesy is. An agreement between suns, regulating when one of them may kill another. We knew that! The citizen shouts, and then looks appalled as their own new mouth picks up the answer. An order of logoi that were made to be the agreement's impartial arbiters. They are also charged with keeping the existence of the courtesy and the strife in the heavens a secret from lesser beings. Oh. You mean like me? So, an order of logoi that were made to be the agreement's impartial arbiters. Okay, so they're like judges saying, okay, this son, are you allowed to kill that son? Okay. But also, they have to keep the rules a secret from scrubs. How does the courtesy keep its existence a secret? And did my friend fall afoul of it? They use the fire that follows to find those who would betray it and to punish them. If necessary, a logos of the courtesy will physically substantiate to finalize matters. What's the fire that follows? I mean, it sounds kind of self-explanatory. Some kind of weapon or like tracking entity that follows you and fucking burns you. Ask what the logoi are, apart from being the keepers of the courtesy. A logos is a word of living fire, spoken to being by a judgment to fulfill a specific function. That is entirely false, your own mouth responds, but it will do. Okay, so that's not the whole story, but it's enough to get the gist. It's word made flesh, somewhat, or made ethereal sky being, at the very least. It helps that we've actually seen some now. And why are the suns determined to keep the courtesy a secret? Both your and the masked citizen's second mouths fall silent, considering the question. You and the masked citizen exchange a look. Beyond the window, the black sun seethes, its attention fixed upon you. To keep up appearances, the masked citizen's original mouth says, with dawning realization, because the greatest are subject to the same follies as the least. Even the suns indulge in spite and pettiness and murder. There's no state of grace. And, your new mouth says, perhaps because for every law, there is a loophole. What the fuck does that mean? For every law, there's a loophole? So if word got out about the courtesy, which is like a legal way for sons to kill each other, then someone might be able to find a way to finagle that to their own benefit. Like if the law says, you can only kill a son if you're a son, on a Tuesday, then, you know, some upstart mortal might be like, well, it didn't say if it was your sun and it's on a Tuesday, or your sun or it's on a Tuesday. So I think I should be able to kill a sun if it's a Tuesday. That type of thing. So preventing knowledge of this agreement, this set of rules between suns is also protecting them from other suns or anybody else who might want to try to find a way to subvert that to their own ends. Okay. Um, okay. My audience is concluded. Enough! The masked citizen's second mouth snaps. Answers have been given. Understanding bestowed. We will not speak again except in one instance, should it come to pass. What is that? The mouths crawl down face and neck to position themselves more discreetly. You can feel it when your clothes catch on it. Oh, it's still there? Oh. Will not speak again except in one instance, should it come to pass. What does that mean? Huh. Eleutheria's midnight sun withdraws gradually from the window, but the thudding pressure of its attention is still on you. If it's possible, it seems pleased. Mr. Barleycorn stands. Please leave, it says. When you return to your engine, the masked citizen says, I would very much like to go home, and locks themselves in their cabin. Okay, and we've learned something we should not. I've seen, this has come up a couple times. We're delving into forbidden secrets here. I like it. What's the other circumstance under which the halved will speak to us, I wonder? Is it if I, like, brand myself? Because that's always an option, right? Yeah, except the tattoo. I don't know about that, dog. I don't know about that. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay, so we go back to New Winchester to continue this quest. We need to stop by Caduceus to do the Rite of the Rose one more time. Let's do that first. And I also want to stop by the Wreck of the Behringer. Do I have the items I need for the Wreck of the Behringer? Yeah, I needed Undistinguished Souls. Oh, do I have enough bombazine? I don't know, but I don't think so. So I'm going to get some of that at Langley Hall too. Okay, so to Caduceus it is. So that was let's discuss while we go. That was pretty heavy. We didn't learn a whole lot new. We learned why the Suns keep it a secret, which makes sense. And we learned the mechanism through which they keep it a secret, which is the fire that follows, right? Oh, the Man of Fire. A knock at your door in the night. You open it and find a crewman slumped in the corridor. Is he alright? His skin is scalding. And what's that on his neck? Words written on his skin? A confession? He looks up. His eyes shine as if candles burned in them. He opens his mouth. It's lit from below by the blue fires burning in his belly. He stands and lurches forward. Let's slam the door and barricade myself in. Uh-oh. Blue flame gushes from his mouth, igniting him in a column of raging fire. You slam the door, but his arm is already reaching for you. His hand clutches your shoulder. Your sleeve ignites, and words blossom on your skin like a brand. I have lost count of how many of my crew have died. I cannot remember their faces. Then the names of the crew that have died under your command begin to sear themselves into your skin in a dense scribble. You barge the door against his arm again and again until it pulls back. You shove the door closed, but blue flames begin to lick beneath. Then you hear raised voices. Your officers? Gunshots. Then a voice. Captain, are you all right? Before you open the door, you wrap a sheet around your shoulders, hiding your brand. I've lost 1 heart! Fuck! That's a bad frickin' check to fail. Holy moly. Does that fuck with my... No, it doesn't. It doesn't fuck with any of my numbers. Kind of wish that it did, so to have an excuse to reload. But no, I won't. It's a bummer, though. So anyway, what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted is that that fire that follows seems to have gotten our friend. And one has to wonder, I don't know if that occurrence was just a coincidence, but is it after us too? Like it keeps saying whenever we get one of these revelations, it keeps saying we've learned something we shouldn't. Is are the logos, the logoi of the courtesy onto us? I don't know. Alright, here's Caduskius. Cascadius. Deducius. That's it. Oh, I can level up. I could replace that heart I just lost. What do I care about here? Let's raise Veils. Or should I do Mirrors? I like having the idea of having one skill that's like stupidly high. So let's keep pumping Mirrors. Got anything good for me in the Bazaar? Chorister Nectar. I mean, that's alright. 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 Participate in the Rite of the Rose. So we should know everything we need to now. Approach the Thorn Maiden. Her eyes are on you and only you. Will you leave it all behind and follow me? You are ready. Can I do this other stuff first? Oh, whatever, I don't care. She smiles. You are ready. Follow me. She takes her hand, then beckons her attendants to follow her, the honey-eyed poets and the wild-eyed Bacchants and the dark-eyed musicians. She leads you behind her marble throne to where the sunlight is strongest, radiant as a newborn star. It pours from the blank white wall. Pours from the wall? The Thorn Maiden walks forward and through the wall. You touch the wall to discover it's not cold marble, but glass. Then your hand passes through entirely. The heat of sunlight is on your hands. The cloying scent of roses is almost overwhelming. I mean, you know I'm going through. I've followed her thus far. You stand in a garden beneath an amber sky. Wild roses cover arbors. Rose binders tend hedges. Larger shapes akin to the devil's but much longer and with many more limbs assist them. The garden is bounded on all sides by a wood, whispering and verdant. Something slithers through the shadows. The Thorn Maiden places her hand on your shoulder. No closer. We are permitted thus far and no further. Smell the roses. Enjoy the sunlight. I shall bring it home one day soon. Relaxed hours later, she leads you back to the mirror, which sits in the heart of the garden. You've pierced the heart of Caduceus and seen the garden behind the glass. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of obvious, but this is the most significant part. I shall bring it home one day soon. So yeah, it's exactly what I thought. They're trying to enter this world. And if we're being logical here, the darkening of Eleutheria's sons is all part of that same plan, right? It seems like these creatures from behind the mirror can't exist in sunlight. Although it seems to be light here, right? But maybe it's not the same kind of light. Maybe sunlight is not so much physical light as it, kind of like Lion King, like everything that the light touches is our domain. Everything that a particular sun's light touches is under their control. So another like group of beings can't abide in that region. They'd have to be under the control of their own sun or whatever's producing their own light. That's what I think. Is there anything else I can learn here? Nope. Okay. So that seems to have wrapped up the story of Caduceus. Alright, so that's Caduceus wrapped. Very creepy. Sounds very not good. But who knows? Again, who knows? It's not exactly a paradise right now, right? So, alright, to Langley Hall. And we're gonna pick up some bombazine. Tywil Craig. Never seen a more Welsh fucking name. I'm trying to remember how much bombazine we had in the bank. We've got 1 in our stores. I need 7 eventually. I feel like I had at least 2 in the bank. I'm just gonna get a bunch, because... because, you know, I don't know when I'll be back. What are these sounds happening around me? Can you chill? Oh yeah, I still need to eventually figure out who Langley's lover is and bring him back here. Not sure about that one. His lordship's grand clear out. Let's get some nostalgic crockery, I guess, dude. Okay. Port report? Report of port? Port report. Yee. No, it's time to leave. Alright, do I need to buy some more fuel? Yeah, probably. And then, no, I've got enough to be getting on with. I'm just going to fill up with bombazine. Bombazine, bombazine, bombazine. Alright, and now we're off to the wreck of the Behringer. And we might as well clear out this section here that we haven't explored. It's right at the edge of the map, so there's probably nothing there. But at least that will satisfy me. I really like this section of the sky. It's this, like, endless brambly growth. Very cool. Is this another place where you can just kind of wander off the edge of the map? Seems like it. Yeah. Yeah, very open portion of sky here. Which again is not necessarily a bad thing, it's good for some variety. Alright, wreck of the Behringer. It has definitely been enough time since I was here last. Alright, board the Behringer. And now, choose the Mask of the Scintillant to conduct experiments. Make your way to the laboratories. And conduct your own experiment, recruiting volunteers from your own crew. Okay. Ah, poopy. Oh wow, that's just assured. We could lure something out from the place behind glass, which gets me a searing enigma. No questions asked. Or I could mount an expedition into the place behind glass. I really want to do this. Who knows what you may discover. Alright, let's try it. We've got a 76% chance of success. Yes. Days of research and preparation, hammering, welding, the occasional wince-inducing shatter, until finally a single shining mirror meanders across the laboratory floor. When the hour arrives, Some of your crew slip into the glass like it's a river. A second group swallows soporifics. They plan to meet the expedition members in their dreams. The sleepers awaken with stories of cannibal clouds and tapestry skies. Apparently, the ones who went through the mirrors seemed under the impression that months had passed and were desperately trying to return. One was crumbling like a sandcastle. Hmm. Do I send the second group back to sleep? Or do I dive into the mirror river myself? Hmm. Well, no one. If you want something done, you gotta do it right. Dive into the mirror river yourself. You'll pull your lost crew to safety, if you can find them, and if your mind prevails. Your skin unravels. Man. You stride as a framework of dripping sinew through a storm cloud, where the lightning bolts are flashes of forked tongues. One by one, you root out the lost crew members in their private hells, and drag them back to the surface. You return to the laboratories with all accounted for, and discover one is still wrapped in a tiger hide, salvaged from a dream jungle. So this place, like, it's real, but it's also kind of the realm of dreams. Like, it's not obviously bound to the same rules that this reality is. And this reality is shaky enough as it is. Okay, cool. I got a lot of shit. I got a little terror, but that's the only bad thing that I got. Cool, 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 cool. Unassailable Founder, you got anything different for me? Swap stories, I can always do that. Cool, cool. That reduces my terror. Very nice. Let's be the recalcitrant. And then go to the Hall of Debate. Did I already do this? I already did this. The forum? What happens in the forum? I forget. Let's tell a story from our travels. I have a fuck ton of sky stories. Do I get anything from this? No. You got the wrong face on recalcitrant. So who's supposed to tell stories then? Oh, the supplicant. Right. Let's head to the forum as the supplicant. Oh shit. Okay. I can deliver hella lectures. Do I deliver a lecture on the place behind glass? Sure. You begin your lecture by warning your audience that you've been tampering in things which humanity was not meant to know, and that therefore the results still need to be reliably replicated. Cribbing from your various notes, you deliver a lecture on the intricacies and vagaries of the is-not. The correct way to climb inside a mirror, the means by which a traveler can dream a palace, speculations on why the barrier between is and is not has become so much less permeable in recent years. So much less permeable. Your audience swells, many of them furiously taking notes. When your talk is complete, you'll find yourself mobbed with questions. Oh, I got a lot of XP from that. Cool. Very cool. Anything different now, Miss Founder? I don't think so. Alright, cool. Okay, so I think at least for now, our time in Eleutheria is drawing to a close. What? Why is there a thing here? What is this? Oh, the Nameless Spirit must be paid. Yeah, you can have your money. Is there a thing here? No, there's a thing here. There's another wreck. Let's see here now. Let's now see here. Let's see. I think we just want to head to Eagles Empyrean and the transit relay there. Possibly Pan for us to drop some stuff off. Yeah. Because then I want to go to, well, I want to go back to New Winchester to continue the main quest. That's the big thing. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna go head back to the Reach. Alright, welcome back. Here we are back in the Reach, approaching Lustrum. We're here for a couple things. One, to turn in a very lucrative prospect. What else? Well, let's do that first. Turn in very lucrative prospect. Oh, baby. I gained a cryptic benefactor out of that, too. Very nice. And then... what else was there? There was something else here. Oh, there's a sigil, I believe. Oh, yes. Oh. I need to climb the Mother of Mountains in search of a lost sigil. What are my chances here? 46. They're not great, dude. They're not great. Hmm. Let's see if we can increase our iron a little bit, y'all. Our Stalwart Navigator gives us iron. Um, darn it. Okay, I need to go pick up my, what's it called? My Incautious Driver, because they give us iron as well. Okay, well, that's as much as we can increase it then, which is not a lot. But, alright, now we've got a 53% chance of success. Success, baby! First try. A cruel climb. The cold is vicious. Rocks crumble, turning solid ground into a grasping abyss. The snow is sometimes waist deep. Team members take turns at the front, flattening a path for the rest to follow. Why don't you just walk over the snow? Idiots, are they stupid? Near the summit, ice mummified and huddled together, are two corpses. The bodies have the quill and star emblem of the Singh Jenkins expedition sewn onto their frozen jackets. Carved on the mountain behind them is a sigil. You copy it quickly and to make your way back down. The wound that saves your life. A ragged sigil of loss and devastation, of bitter survival. Okay. You return to your notes on the expedition. Finding this sigil cost them 2 bearers, half their provisions, and a donkey. It took less from you. Okay. I have found enough sigils. Return to the Forge of Souls. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, and also, investigate the hours trade. Someone's been diluting mined hours with common or garden minerals. Watered down time. Many prospectors are up to it. As new veins of hours become harder to find, barrels are increasingly packed with hourless geodes of quartz and chalcedony, hard to spot until the hours are put to use and found to be caustic or to induce bouts of frantic recklessness. I could turn a blind eye for a price, or report them to the Windward Company. I'm going to report them to the Windward Company, obviously. The miners do not work for it, but Windward engines still end up shipping most of their barrels. Even with your sign of office, it's hard to get an appointment at the local factory. Nevertheless, you persuade the local chairman to hear you out. As you talk, his face gets redder. Future barrels, he swears, will be imperial-grade hours, or those responsible will feel the harshest of sanctions. So far, he informs you, they've been polite. Very cool. That was my assignment. I'm a horologist now. Fuck yeah! Let's try to seek a claim on the mountain here. Or no, hold on. But before we do that, where's where's the Hanged Man Pub? Literally the first option. Buy a round of drinks for the miners. Yeah, sure, dude. Alcohol, the great leveler. Listen to gossip about the mountain, I guess. No, I think I did that last time. Approach the figure in the corner. Mr. Pennies! What's up, Mr. Pennies? Oh, I can exchange hours for otherworldly artifacts. That's kind of useful. Or exchange hours for money. Hey, here's Mr. Barleycorn's seal. Do you care? Mr. Penny pounces on the seal. The Seneschal, it wheezes. 1 of 7. Still loyal? Yes, always loyal. Always waiting for reward. No reward for those who serve the messengers. Always outcasts. Always disappointed. Here, take seal. May help. Okay, so that'll be 3. I wonder if something happens if I find all of them. I would assume that it does. Do I want to do this? Hours for another worldly artifact? Yeah, I guess. Now, I want to try to go up on the mountain and seek a claim. Let's seek a claim. I want to be a prospector in the making. Oh, that was only $10. It's a cold journey in the snow. Stay close, friend, warns your hour harker. He grins. Or not, you've paid already. He lights a vapor lamp, glowing purple like the gases of the nearby nebula. It occasionally sparks with little flecks of green. Soon enough, the lamp is the only light, as you move out to the treacherous, mostly unclaimed edges of the mountain. Occasionally, he stops to sniff, or to drag a foot through the snow and mud in what looks like a line. Finally, he seems satisfied. He shoots you a mostly toothless grin as he lights a cigarette. Reckon this has your name all over it. What do you think? I think you're bullshitting me, dude. The mud's hard here, covered with soft snow. A few young trees flourish in the inhospitable conditions, but not many. Only one other mining group seems to have staked a claim here. The Hour Harker warns that it would be most impolite to ask about their success. Sure, let's stake this claim. We've got a 60% chance of success. Hey, we did it. We did it. Does that mean we find some hours here? Right pleasure doing business with you. There are no complications. You accept the Hour Harker's recommendation and plant your flag. You do not actually own this part of the mountain. You merely have the right to exploit it. It's time to get started. Visit the claim fields to begin. Jesus Christ. Okay. It's marked off by frayed ropes wrapped around tent pegs. Your claim was expensive, but any hours below the surface are yours. Of course, your crew will handle the actual mining work. Yes, not my class of people. The more crew you assign, the faster new hours will be ready for collection. Interesting. So I could just put 5 guys to work here. I don't need hours, honestly. I was hoping there was something else going on here. It doesn't seem like there is. Now, attempt to climb the mountain in search of the singing caves. Now that... What's up with the singing caves? Let's just get this first try. Fuck. Oh, but it only loses me supplies and a tiny bit of terror. That's fine, I'll try that again. That's fine, I'll try that again. First I'll buy some more stuff. Where do I go? Here we go. Failure. Nice, dude. Failure. Nice, dude. Success! The snow's deepened. Much of the mountain demands scaling cliffsides and clambering across treacherous ledges. There's no way to tell how long the climb is. Eventually, you claw up onto a ledge near the peak and sit, exhausted. The air is too thin to keep going, even if you had any strength left. The Singing Caves. This is as close as you can get to the peak. The air is thin, but the view is majestic. From here, the reach stretches out before you in endless waves of purple and violet, occasionally broken by a flicker of gold deep within the clouds. Far below, Lustrum is little but a small yellow glow on a blanket of winter. Now, one thing they don't really go into at all is the third dimension, right? So this game is strictly top-down, right? But here they mention, like, going up and down. But if we're supposed to be in the heavens, in some weird version of space, then there's not really any meaning to up and down, right? Up and down is whichever way you're pointed at that moment in time. Uh, but I guess we're not in like space proper. Like there must be gravity, right? Because I don't know, is there? I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think it's something that they've thought much about, so I'm not going to think much about it. Explore the Singing Caves. Half an hour into your explorations, the wind picks up. The caves fill with the sound of distant fluting. There's no tune to it, just a pleasant, natural melody, like the echo of birdsong. Just as quickly, though, it turns sharp. Less birdsong, more bird prey to a ravenous cat. The atonal screech rocks the mountain, though by the time it leaves the caves, their unique acoustics have turned it into something soft. Your feet crunch against something, a shard of glass, red tinted. Looking through one side, the world seems a burning inferno. From the other, all is well. Looking closer, part of a glyph remains on the shard. Extremely precise work, though its function is alien to you. Perhaps there's someone in Lustrum who would know more. I have an ambiguous shard. Hmm. Hmm. An ambiguous shard, you say? Who would be able to tell me about this shard? Maybe... Well, anybody in the pub? Approach the figure. Mr. Penny's? You haven't... Nope. Nope. Mr. Penny doesn't give a shit about the shard. What about somewhere in the tea shop? A Melusine? I'll have some tea. Yes, thank you. Speak to Melusine Murgatroyd. Trade spy intel. Aha! Show Melusine the ambiguous shard. Is that what I think? Of course it is. Where did you find it? On the mountain? Melusine rushes to her workbench, rummaging for tools. You know what it is? The antithesis of light and law. Light is law, you know. But why would there be pieces of the science here? Maybe, yes, I'll need a few things. Nothing too difficult for you to find, I'm sure. The science? I'll need a few things. Alright, so fetch quest time. Bring her components. Alright, that's not too bad. Bronze wood, carefully packed graded munitions, and a pane of stained glass. Only one of each. That's not too bad, dude. Bronzewood, munitions, glass. Okay. I will return in short order, and for you folks, instantaneously. Ready? Bah! Bah! Ta-da! We're back! Alright, let's go back to the pub. Items in hand. Not the pub. The tea shop. Silly me. Bring Melusine her components. She disappears into her workshop for a few hours while you sit and sample her finest teas. On the house, of course. See, tea is not one of those drinks that I feel like I could sit and drink for hours, you know? It does have caffeine in it. Most teas, unless it's like removed. So you'd be pissing like a racehorse. But whatever. She returns clutching a spike-covered bronze contraption housing. What? A spike-covered bronze contraption housing and pushing light through the ambiguous shard. Artifacts of the red science have resonance, obviously. We can track them with this. Probably, so long as the shard doesn't explode. That's unlikely, though. Fairly unlikely. Well, nothing ventured. I'll meet you on the mountain. What the fuck is the red science? Literally the first time I'm hearing of this. Alright, I'll meet you on the mountain. Uh, where is it? Do I go to the claim fields? I don't know. What do you mean, meet me on the mountain? What part of the mountain, dude? I don't have to go back up here again, do I? I'm so confused. These are my options. I'm so confused. Melusine. Okay. So, what? Is there a freaking journal entry for this? It would be fairly far down. What awaits in the Mother Mountains? You can now explore the Singing Caves with Melusine. So I actually have to get back up to the Singing Caves by myself. By my fucking lonesome, dude. Unbelievable. Alright, I guess we're going back up the mountains. Can I just, like, get this first try, maybe? Oh, can I get it second try? Yeah, we can. Cool. Alright, we're back up at the top. Explore the Singing Caves with Melusine. A small pedal-powered flying machine cools off behind her. Certainly a faster way to ascend the mountain. Probably not a safer one. Yeah. The deeper caves. Some of these caves appear natural, winding with no apparent destination or design. Others appear hand-carved, albeit with deep slashes, which suggest that those hands came with extremely unpleasant claws. Melusine follows close behind you, carrying a purple-flamed Hour Harker's lamp, along with a little bronze device containing the ambiguous shard. She swings it around in the air. In response, it occasionally makes a click sound. Well, that's comforting. Uh, da, 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 da. Deep in the mountain, light pours through a crack in the wall. Your skin crawls at its touch. Looking down, you pull away at once. The writhing ceases. The light in the mountain. The crack opens onto a large cavern where the world has been torn open. The wound casts the light, and the walls writhe at its touch. You lead the way, slipping through quietly. Melusine follows close behind, silencing the hum of her strange device. Shriveled creatures hang from the ceiling in tattered cloaks and cradles of iron and bronze. Polished mirrors and glass lenses arranged around the bright light focus concentrated beams on each of the creatures. They twitch occasionally, but are otherwise immobile. Another of their kind, the one the people of Lustrum call Mr. Pennies, moves between them in awkward, jolting steps. It salts their lips with hours and shuffles on. The light flickers just for a moment, but apparently a moment too long. A creature shivers and screams. In its death throes, it drops something it had clutched to its chest, a statue of sorts. Its last scream echoes through the mountain's tunnels, a piercing screech that cuts to your bone. Somewhere far above, it emerges from the mountain as beautiful music. So these things are being, like, suspended in time. And Mr. Pennies is trying to keep them alive. Wow. Mr. Pennies goes about its strange routine in the writhing light. It spreads hours from a small pot between its various charges, in apparent exchange for the treasures at their feet. Okay, so it's not exactly altruistic. Each holds their most precious treasure tight to their chitinous chests, relics of distant worlds, the tears of dead sons, the final evidence of great shames. Let's examine the wound in space. It's unclear if the array of bronze and glass is causing it or merely channeling its light. Pennies is far enough away. You could get a closer look. I think the light is keeping those creatures alive, whispers Melusine. Remember what I said? Light is law. Usually. The science is, it lets you rewrite the rules. All of them. Even death. But look, I don't think it's working. Maybe something's gone wrong. Maybe it never worked properly. I wish I could play with it. Okay, so, going back to our previous discussion about Parabola and the creatures behind the glass, they clearly have their own source of light, right? That is independent from the light of a sun. Does the light of the suns impose a certain natural order on the world? And so everything that we take for granted, like mortality, for example, is not a universal given so much as one of a set of rules that's imposed by the order of these suns? And there are other alternative orders that may not abide by the same rules? Interesting. Interesting. Uh, wow, these are some. There are no half measures here. I'm not going to attempt to slip away. Do I talk to Mr. Pennies or do I sabotage the array? Whatever this is, it shouldn't be. Mr. Pennies does seem to be kind of. I don't know. It's not exactly doing these creatures a favor, is it? Like, it's keeping them alive, but it's stealing their things. I guess that's a decent trade-off, but it's not. it's still not equitable because they're not making an informed decision because this is a decision made under duress, right? Now, if I keep talking much longer, I'm going to start talking about the U.S. healthcare system. um, but right, like they're making a choice, but the choice is do what I want or die, and that's not a choice. So you could force them into any kind of fucked up arrangement if those are the stakes. That being said, he is keeping them alive, and so like he's not. It's weird because Mr. Penny's clearly has some internal sense of fairness, because otherwise it would just kill these things and take their treasures, right? But it must think that there has to be some kind of quid pro quo, some kind of tit for tat, if you will. And so it's keeping them alive, but saying, "Well, look, I'll give you some more time on the clock if you give me your shit." I mean, what do you think? And of course, they not wanting to die say yes. It's fucked up. It's pretty fucked up. Hey, Mr. Pennies, what's going on? The monster that was Mr. Penny's moves too fast to see clearly. Scabbed bat wings unfurl. Its cloak falls back to reveal all you register is teeth, fury, and torn velvet. Do I hold my ground, attack, or flee? Hold your ground. The beast's wings rattle the mirrors in the array. Its teeth glitter in front of you. You fold your arms and wait. Confused, the monster lowers its wings and raises its hood back over its terrible teeth. You, it gasps. No threat, nothing meant. Quiet, please. Yes? Uh, uh, how you doing, Mr. Pennies? Our kind lives long. Much time for mistakes. Blessed place on chain. Blessed place. So the chain, I think, is kind of like the hierarchy of beings, right? We've talked about like the suns are at the top and humans are near the bottom, and everything else is kind of in the middle. That chain is like, yeah, like the food chain, kind of. Uh, Blessed place on chain means mistakes can be mighty. Mr. Penny salts its own monstrous lips with ours. These the oldest of us, oldest, not willing to die, come here to prolong life. Too much to fear from the darkness. The stories, things on the river with chains and thorns. They choose agony of torpor over chance of consequences. This one did things too. Now sworn to protect elders. Penance. Maybe one day can find forgiveness. Until then, must stay and watch. What about the creature's treasures? Most important memory of life. Will only let go after final breath. Smaller ones, they not matter so much. Sell for hours in town. Hours keep flame of life glowing a while. Not burning. Not enough wick for fire, not any more. But enough for existence. Enough to keep holding on. Okay, so it's not quite as sinister as I first thought. They're willingly giving up those possessions to buy more hours. Literally more hours on the clock. But, geez, talk about circling the drain, you know? Like, oh man. Okay. Now don't let me keep talking or I'm going to start talking about like nursing homes paying exorbitant sums of money just to keep you alive a little longer. Like you're in some cases past your golden years. Um and you're not really living so much as just surviving. Oof, man. I pray that I have the courage to cut the cord when I get to that point, you know. Okay. Check on Melusine. She seems to have filled half a notebook already. Oh, I wanted to keep talking to him. So if that light is that glyph, she glances up. I could study this for a lifetime and not understand how it all works. I mean, I'm not going to. Not much use having immortality if it means sitting around in a cave forever. Also, it's cold. Still, I wonder if old Pennies would mind if I came back here later. I could bring my coat and my clarinet. The acoustics in here are incredible. Talk to Mr. Pennies. And what's with the light array? You don't look like a scientific genius. Beyond skill to fix. Bought in trade centuries ago. Filtered light of judgment. Filtered out laws of death. Worked, but now need alternative. Discovered ours. More reliable, but temporary. Need more. Always more. That's so fucking cool. Okay. So I was kind of right, right? The judgment, which is like the law of the suns, imposes natural order on the natural world. Okay? And one of those orders is death. You must die at your appointed time or after a certain amount of time. But if you just like fucking remove that line of code, then I guess you don't have to die. Oh man, that's so cool. Oh, it's so cool. Okay. Let's steal something because fuck you, Mr. Pennies. Fuck your butt. We stole another worldly artifact. Is there anything I can do here? I could attempt to sabotage the array. That sounds rather drastic. Nah, nah. I'm gonna leave. Mr. Pennies waits by the cavern entrance. You not tell people below, yes? Please? Keep it secret, bargain to keep it secret, or refuse to promise? Oh, my character would definitely bargain to keep it secret. Mr. Pennies dips its head. The hood falls away. His wings fill your vision, and his claws hook into your chest. The monster surges through the caverns, taking flight. Finally, you're outside. The cold air cuts. The thin air isn't enough. Breathing is... Mr. Pennies releases you. Your arms wheel, your heart stops. You land in a freezing drift, just feet away from a plateau of rocks that would have split you open like a burst sausage. A narrow escape. Uh-oh, I've made an enemy of Mr. Pennies. Oops! So now if I go back to the pub, are you not going to like me? Hey, Mr. Pennies. It doesn't seem to matter. Sure, I'll do some hours for money. What's the exchange rate? $5? Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Alright, cool. So that just about wraps up things here in the Reach for now. I think what we're going to do next is we're going to go to Albion, pick up our incautious driver. I've been missing them. Oh, you know what? Before we end, let's head back to Port New Winchester. Drop off the masked citizen and figure out what our next like main story part of the quest is. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. And here's New Winchester. Always comforting to come back to. Now, part ways with a masked citizen. They kept to their cabin on their return journey. Their crew reported seeing starlight seeping from under their door at all times. The jars accumulating outside their cabin painted a melancholy picture. The citizen had been steeping themselves in lamp after lamp of starshine. Perhaps the familiar captive starlight reminded them of times before you learned of the hypocrisy of suns, before you both grew the second mouths, hidden beneath your clothes. The citizen climbs, blinking from your engine. Our quest has led us down roads that are hostile to my disposition. Having learned of the forces at play, I have little hope of seeing our friend again. I don't know about you, but I intend to begin drinking heavily. Good luck in all your endeavors. I don't know about you, but I'm getting fucked up. Alright, that's a good place to stop. Next time we'll search for Mr. Menagerie with Spatchcocker Meg.